Did you know propaganda and repetitive writing can subtly influence our beliefs over time? For example, captured American soldiers in the Korean War were forced to write small anti-capitalist and anti-American letters to themselves. Over time, this shifted their views away from their own political beliefs. But how can we use this to our advantage? Let's talk about brainwashing for success. Leonidas here, and let's dive right in. Well, we can write notes to ourselves with positive affirmations or goals. Leave them around your home. Over time, these messages can start to reprogram our subconscious, pushing us towards our desire for success. Another powerful tool is writing yourself a letter of your life goals. Read it repeatedly or even write it down weekly to cement your aspirations further. Remember, we can steer our thoughts towards success by implementing these small but powerful techniques. Check out the full video on positive brainwashing on my channel, PremiumLeo.